The Rock has launched a devastating attack on Cody Rhodes, leaving the American Nightmare a bloody and brutal mess on the latest episode of Raw as the road to WrestleMania 40 significantly heatens up on a god-tier episode of Monday Night Raw. But welcome in, guys. Welcome to the Ketch's channel. I am the Ketch, your lovely speaker on the microphone. And yeah, hopefully if you enjoy the video, please like and share and subscribe with everyone, as it helps support the channel but also grows the channel and is much appreciated. Let's get into why this Raw was one of the best episodes ever. So as I mentioned on Raw was one of the best episodes of all, well, in at least not of all time, but at least in recent memory. And that is due to the fact that there were so many interconnecting storylines, the whole return of CM Punk in his hometown of Chicago. By the way, shout out to Chicago. That was an insane crowd, and you guys always go mental for whatever is on the show. So, you know, kudos to you for being such a great audience for tonight's episode of Raw. But yes, Raw did start with Cody Rhodes coming out and effectively, you know, telling us the story of, you know, how he has to win at WrestleMania, how he has to finish the story, and he'll do anything in order to win it. And this somehow then brought out The Rock. Now, The Rock wasn't announced for this week's show. He is scheduled for next week's Raw Before Mania show, but he wasn't scheduled for this show. So when he came up unannounced, the crowd just went mental because it's The Rock. Everyone goes mental for The Rock. He came out in his final boss persona. He's got the vest on, the gold swanky vest on. He's got the chain on. He's got the glasses on. He's got the new Hollywood entrance music. Awesome, by the way. And he came to the ring, stood toe-to-toe with Cody Rhodes, face-to-face, man-to-man, and did not say a word. Neither of them said a word until The Rock leaned in, whispered something to Cody, and then walked to the back as if nothing had happened. And a lot of people on social media were trying to sort of understand what The Rock had said in his brief minute there with Cody Rhodes. And a lot of lip readers said, well, at least thinking that he was saying, "Tonight I'm going to make you bleed." Now I'll get into why that's important in a minute, but yes, that is indeed what he whispered. Before I move on to what happened at the end of the show, I must address the whole CM Punk, Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins segment that was on the show. This was some of the best television, 20 minutes worth of an unscripted segment that both CM Punk, Seth Rollins and even Drew McIntyre need to give themselves a pat on the back, because the crowd was on every word of this segment, and there was a lot of real life heat that was said between the trio, between the fact that CM Punk, obviously CM Punk is injured at the moment, so he can't do anything, at least physically, was asking the Chicago crowd, what can I do at WrestleMania? I don't want to really be a host, his ass beneath me. I could be a commentator. I've been good at commentary in the past. I could be a referee in a match at WrestleMania. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins World Heavyweight title match. But then this brought out Drew McIntyre and CM Punk tiring of the fact that Drew McIntyre, all he has done on social media is talk crap about him. It was like, nah, mate, please cut the music. I'm sick of this. Anyway, they went back and forth trading barbs about each other. And this also then brought out Seth Rollins, who also, you know, came to the party by saying he doesn't like CM Punk. He doesn't like Drew McIntyre. And WrestleMania, he's going to prove to the world why he is the World Heavyweight Champion. And then this brought CM Punk in to say, I'm going to be on commentary for your match at WrestleMania. And you know, it's funny, I've been away for 10 years, but I'll still be more relevant than you two, and you guys are having the match. And so I thought that whole segment was just brilliant. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It is fantastic bit of TV, and kudos to Triple H and the whole production team for producing that segment. It was so good, and I can't wait to see what happens between CM Punk, Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, but also post-Mania as well. This was after the main event between Jey Uso and Shinsuke Nakamura, in which Jey Uso beat Shinsuke 1-2-3, got the pinfall victory over him, but he did have to fend off some bloodline interference from Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. However, before those two could even attack Jey Uso, Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes came to his aid, thwarting off the bloodline and getting rid of him from ringside, which enabled Jey to then get the win. After Jey was finished celebrating with the crowd, it then cut to Drew McIntyre come out and attack Seth Rollins. Now this was in reference to the fact that Paul Heyman had met secretly with Drew McIntyre backstage during the show. So this was Drew getting his revenge back on Seth Rollins for stomping him earlier in the night, but also helping the bloodline in getting rid of one of The Rock and Roman Reigns' opponents at WrestleMania 40. Camera then cut back to Cody Rhodes fighting Jimmy Uso throughout the backstage area, and once Cody had dealt with Jimmy, attacked from behind by The Rock, who cowardly act had got him when his attentions were focused elsewhere. But it gave us probably one of the best Raw endings ever, I believe, in my opinion, to be perfectly honest. And what happened here is The Rock delivered the most brutal beatdown of Cody Rhodes we have seen so far, and a showed a side of The Rock we haven't really seen since probably the Attitude Era, when he was beefing with the likes of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mankind and Triple H. But I don't think he ever gave out a beating as brutal as this. He pretty much threw Cody all around the backstage area, then took him outside in the rain, I might add, beat him to a pulp with rain dropping down on Cody Rhodes. He then threw him into Cody Rhodes' own bus, leaving the American Nightmare bloodied. I now have called him the Bloodied Nightmare, and pretty much just referencing his speech on SmackDown he did a couple of weeks ago, where he was talking about how he was going to give a belt to Mama Rhodes that was full of Cody Rhodes' blood, and he pretty much demonstrated this point by getting a weight belt that said Mama Rhodes on it and dousing it in Cody Rhodes' blood, and also putting his own fingers on Cody and getting into his blood and going, this is what happens when you talk crap, this is what happens, there are consequences for your actions, and this is what happens. And he pretty much beat him to a brutal and bloody mess. Cody was done. He was completely out. There was nothing he could do to come back from it, and no one could save him from it. Interestingly enough, while he was getting beat down, the camera did this interesting shot of where The Rock's attacking Cody, but in the back you can see a WWE truck, and the way it was positioned, this shot was to have both The Rock and Cody Rhodes in the spot, but also in the background on this truck you could see John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin on this truck. Now, is that a coincidence on WWE's end, or are they just playing into the fact that fans may think Stone Cold Steve Austin and John Cena will show up to help Cody Rhodes finally finish the story and beat the Bloodline? I don't know, to be perfectly honest, but the conspiracy theories and all the theories going around the dirt sheets at the moment is going mental, and the fact that The Rock is doing this run now at the age he is and after so long of not been doing it is awesome for TV and awesome for business. And the road to WrestleMania is literally been given a blowtorch under it, and to be perfectly honest, I don't know what's going to happen on the last 3 shows before WrestleMania, so SmackDown, the Raw before Mania, and the SmackDown before Mania. But from what I can understand, with Roman Reigns being on next week's Raw as well, it's going to be a powder keg. I expect Raw to end with an all-out brawl with different WrestleMania stories all interconnecting in the same spot. So I really can't wait to see what happens on the last 3 shows before WrestleMania and then WrestleMania itself. I think WrestleMania 40 might be a top 5 Mania of all time. It might even be the best Mania of all time if booked correctly, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But that has been the end of this video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have loved it and liked it, please do like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another video, and I'll see you with another video very, very shortly. Have a good one, guys, and I'll catch you later.